Hey, real estate agents, welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host, Joey Sampaga. How you doing today, Joey?
I'm doing all right, Jeff. How are you?
Good, man. Good. It looks like your decor is looking nice back there.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Still working on it and trying to get the mic to work. I know I'm a little reverby, but that's okay.
I think you're good. We got a great guest with us here online, and that's Cheryl Willis, Go Arizona Real Estate at eXp Realty and State Director with USA Home Bids. Welcome, Cheryl. How you doing?
I am doing fantastic, and I love Joey's background so bad. I took it so much. I took a screenshot because I'm totally copying that.
There you go.
Gotta
His
get
wife
the
did it.
color of that paint.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
Heather
good
did
stuff.
that for me. So
Nice. Love it. Yes. Cheryl Willis at Go Arizona Real Estate. Yes, I'm part of EXP. I've been in the business 17, actually almost 18 years. That's so aging me. When I started,
wow.
we actually had press hard firmly on the contract. Remember that? Anyways,
wow.
it's been a long time. But I'm kind of a geeky, like little nerd. I'm originally from the Bay Area. I actually come from the IT industry. It's kind of funny. You were mentioning a book earlier, and I come from the IT industry in the late 90s, and I was part of that .com boom and crash. And it was from that I got into real estate. It was I was part of a RIF, reduction in sales force, that red line. And I was very fortunate. The company I was with gave me a 1 year, what do you call it? Package.
Severance package?
There you go. It's so long ago, I don't even remember, but I had a whole year, which is perfect for real estate. But I didn't know I was going to go into real estate. I was actually at a friend's house, and her husband said he was starting school the next day. And I was like, oh, I got nothing to do. I'll go with you. So he didn't finish school. I did.
And that's how you got into it, huh?
It was just kind of a dare at a barbecue.
So you got into it out here in Arizona.
Stuff like that. I got to slow things down because really that tells you what my life is like. I've seen the market. I've seen every kind of market you could possibly imagine, right? In real estate. And one of the best things that was ever given to me in real estate was the little tiny flimsy book called Who Moved My Cheese? And I think that technology has made that book even more profound in that you have to constantly run numbers, stats. You have to look at the market. Love Cranford Report. I'm a true believer. I believe in predictive analytics, and numbers will tell the story because people don't necessarily know how to read numbers. They don't know how to translate them, right? And that's why he is one of my favorite peeps. So the reason I'm here is with that technology that has, or I shouldn't say reason I'm here, but the reason I wanted to share this with people is there is a new tool. It's a technology tool because I'm, again, so geeky. I found this like a year ago. I reached out to the owner. They were using it in California, of course, right? For about 2 years. And they were just getting ready to roll it out to Arizona. And I was like, look, this is what I used to do back in the day. Like, I hate to say this, but it explains a lot about me. I used to be an information workflow process manager.
That's a long title.
It is. Say it real fast. Yeah. So basically, I'm picking apart someone else's process. Back in the day, Six Sigma, right? So I pick apart processes and make sure that they were effective, cost effective, time effective. You're getting the best results in the shortest time. Okay. So I can't stop that. It's in my brain, right? So when I saw this, though, I was like, I see where this is going. And I would love to be your point person in Arizona. And at first they were like, well, why would we need an Arizona person? Why wouldn't we just roll it out nationally? And I'm like, I'm from California, and I'm the first one to tell you no one else is like California, and especially Arizona. I feel, again, agents that have been in the business, 5 or 10 years, they don't even know what it was like during the boom and crash, right? And I think that our consumer is uber sensitive to shticks. these pop-up businesses. I've always said this. Arizona is the test site for any type of technology. Where did the self-driving car go, right? The Bay Area was like, no way, you're not doing it here. And Arizona's like, I got it.
Oh, yeah.
That found, I remember it back then too, like all these, if you want to call it supply chain, or there we go again in the technology stuff,
Sure.
right? But you have this really robust real estate business. And from that, you have all these ancillary businesses that are not realtors or not real estate, but they're jumping in on the biz in some way, right? That's what supply chain is, right?
Absolutely.
So I started, of course, we all started saying it, but I see this as a good thing, all right? We've seen enough competitors. We have iBuyers more than like I have clients that own investment properties that bought from me many years ago. And they're like, I got these phone calls. How did they get my phone number? And I go, are you serious? Like, the world has your phone number, right? All we have to do is pay a little bit, right? And I said, so we have iBuyer competition. We have concept competition like Homey and Knock. I always want to say Knock Knock, but it is just Knock. We had a couple that have already failed. What was that? Red Brick, Zillow. I don't know.
Purple Bricks.
Yeah. Purple Bricks. What did I say? Red Brick. Yeah. Whatever. Zillow's still like. Zillow's just buying everything. They're not sure what they're doing. This is my favorite part about Zillow. Like, I just had a listing go up and they're like, Zillow says this, but it says this and everything. I said, you know what? I'm so glad you pointed that out. That just goes to show you how inconsistent and how not trustworthy Zillow is, right? And the consumer actually goes, yeah, you're right. I'm like, yeah. So while with their growing pains, I love that, right? So, but this is the first time it's an actual tool that any realtor can use at any brokerage. You don't have to come work at EXP to use this. Although I'm looking for people on my team.
Yeah. Yeah. You said that you were looking to grow your team.
I'm so busy with that and I want to share it, but I am. I have a couple of fantastic agents that have just recently joined Go Arizona. I don't like to say I have so much business, but I have a lot of business that I can't manage myself. I'm not handing out leads. I'm handing out clients. I'm already got the buyer pre-qualified. I already have their area set up. I already have, they're coming here tomorrow. And they just need to be shown properties. Here's the buyer. Like that. Wow. That's the buyer leads, and my listing leads. I'm the one that's locking in all the listing. And then I'm like, I'm on to the next one. Here you go. Here's the listing. So they're not leads, they're actual clients.
That's awesome.
What sets my team very much apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with USA Home Bids, let's just kind of get to the nuts and bolts of what it is, right? It's an online bidding platform. It is not an auction. Now, this is a benefit for Arizona because in California, again, different contract, different rules, different MLS system, right? So when we were going to roll it out in Arizona, the first thing I did was reach out to my broker, and our broker is for the entire state. Because again, that's how EXP works. And she went through everything with a fine tooth comb. Actually, the entire broker team did, because I was like, I want to hear input from everyone. I want to know how to avoid any miscommunication, non-compliance, whatever. I want to head it off in the beginning. Again, that's kind of me. So anyway, so we did that. Then we went straight to Armless, and we said, we're going to be using this on Armless. How do we need to do it in order to not be non-compliant with MLS? They gave us all the instructions, and the benefit is we don't have to call it an auction in Arizona. So I like that because it's not an auction. So an auction typically is associated with distressed properties. The banks still use that. And today, we all know We Buy Ugly Homes. They have their own REI auction company. That's a true auction. A true auction would be where the winning bidder first of all, you have to pay to get in. You have to agree to their terms and conditions. They usually have a very steep buyer premium. It'd either be a flat rate or it could be a large percentage. But when you're the winning bidder, you're stuck. It's there. It's yours, right?
Got it. Yep.
What's different about this is an online bidding platform. So it is public. It's on a website. Everyone can see what that top price is. It's very much like eBay. So eBay, you can see, they usually have their teaser rate, and then you start seeing people, I don't know, eBay even has on there, like if you're a client, you're signing up, do I want to do a bidding platform or do I want to do a buy it now? And they actually have spent, I'm sure, millions of dollars in research on their results on how to get a higher price. And honestly, it's the bidding. There is a true thing called, I'm trying to think, auction fever. And people, they get that energy, they get that excitement. When you think about it, how many fundraisers have we been to? And you're paying, $5,000-$10,000 for a Mexican vacation that you can pick up for $1,200, right? You're like, oh, I got it, Or you can go to a horse auction, that's pretty cool, Or you can go to, if you've ever been to Sotheby's, like that's like the art part, right? Or Michael Jackson's, glove or something like that. It's fun to watch this happen, and it's if you've never been, and some of these, what about Barrett Jackson, right? Come on, you guys watch Barrett Jackson,
yep.
right? Because you want to see that Corvette go for $1 million+ bucks, right? So it's the same thing, like people, it's a psychology. And so from a seller perspective, this is a great thing. You're getting higher price points. Now that kind of sounds like our market today, doesn't it? Right?
Absolutely. Yep.
So the buyer benefit is it's happening. All right. But the buyer benefit is it's 100% transparent. It has the price right there. And just like on eBay, it has an auto extender too. Like if somebody, you can do an auto, like let's hypothetically say, Jake, I have your Yeti, right?
There you go. Run us through an example then. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say the home is listed at $400,000. Okay. And someone says, I really like this house. I'm going to go ahead and bid. I'm going to go ahead and throw out $420. In today's market, that's not unusual, right? Though they can preset auto up to $420, but it only goes up to $401. It only goes up in $1,000 increments until you get over $1 million, right? This does work on all properties, in all conditions, it can be commercial, residential, condos, single family homes. It can even be trailers. It can be land. It can be anything. It can be fixer-upper, turnkey, whatever you want. But so you could put that 420 in and it just goes 401. And then somebody says, oh, I'm going to put 402. Now the system will automatically go 403. Now, if you have 5 people that have auto bids, it goes and it goes straight up to the top one. Okay.
Yeah.
So the listing agent, once you get certified and you're now using the platform on the back end, I can see this. And so I can see everything, what's going on to verify. And if anybody has any questions, I have no problem sharing it. I really do my very best to make sure it's 100% transparent. I do encourage that the buyers be the ones to register for the bidding, but I also suggest that the agent also register for bidding so that they can feel comfortable about the information that's on the website. They want to know what their client sees. If they want to be the one clicking the bell, if they want clicking the mouse, that's fine. But I don't know how much of our liability, like, are we covered on clicking them out? Like, I don't know. Like, it's supposed to be for the buyer, right?
Yeah.
Do it. So
I would say have the buyer do it anyway. I mean,
the whole point is,
right?
Right. So, some people are like, well, my client doesn't want to get in a bidding situation.
Well, they're in it.
That's
no
the
matter
market, what. Right? So, but those are the complaints that I would get 6 months ago. But today, that's a moot point, right? The second part of that is they're like, well, my client, they don't know how high they can go. And I'm like, well, that is where buyers have to be represented, period. Number one. Okay. If you as a buyer, or we call them bidder in the beginning, right? But if you as the buyer do not have an agent to represent you, I do have agents that are certified that I would love to refer to you. And then they usually go, oh, no. I have a realtor. I'm like, good, because we want to get them involved. So we, unlike, and I know we can't mention other brokerages, but we, unlike everyone else, I pay 2.5%. And I know that I wish I could say 3%, but that's not the market right now. So let's just be real. I'm paying 2.5% on my listings, not 2.25, not 2, not 1. I've seen ones. Insane, right? And so we make sure that the buyer has representation. So the bidder will be clicking that button, and we want to give them, again, that control. If the whole thing again right now is that a buyer has no idea what to offer, right? They say to their agent, again, in the scenario, 400, and they're like, I don't know, 415, 420. And so the agent goes, great, we'll write it for 20. So you write 420, you send it in, and you're like this, right? You have no idea. And then, like, one of my offers, unfortunately, that went in, the listing agent doesn't even call to say, sorry, you didn't get it. You got to just watch MLS for pending or something, right? So in this scenario, you don't have to have a preset number. Maybe your buyer does, though. Maybe they know market value is right around 400. You as the buyer agent are going to still provide comps for your client, just like you would if it was a regular deal, right? Look, the highest I can get these comps in are going to be at 400. They're priced really well. 400 is the max. And so if you bid X amount of money, you got to have this much the money difference, right? It's the same conversation. Yeah. And it's up to that buyer agent to prepare their buyer to make sure they bid. Now, here is the I don't know what the right word is. To the benefit to a seller is this will only cost them 3%. 3%. And I'll tell you how that happens. 3%. So it costs them less and it gets them more. That's a seller benefit, right? Buyer benefit. They know exactly what they need to pay in order to get this property. They don't have to have a predetermined price. Now, they may have a threshold or a budget, but they're not putting pen to paper and then it going in and you have no idea. The buyer real time sees what's going on and they can either choose to engage or it's out of their range, right? They know, right? But here's what it is. The bidding platform, it's the bid price plus buyer premium of 3% equals purchase price.
Okay.
So when the offer is put together way down the road, let's take 400. Let's say 400 was the final bidding price. That means it would be 400,000 plus 3%, which would be 12%, equals 412 is the purchase price. This is compliant with lenders. It is compliant. Everything is 100% disclosed on our settlement statement. Everything is paid out exactly as it is. There's nothing fishy, right, about this. If you go to any other online bidding platform or auction, it's exactly what they do. They add on that buyer premium. But again, most of them are 5 to 10% or $10,000 or more. This is 3%. It's not unusual. And with everything that's going on right now with the Department of Justice and NAR and some of that stuff with the, buyer commission, you can't advertise it's free anymore. Like, who does really pay for it? You know what I mean? Like, before I rolled this out in Arizona, I went on a very, very large Facebook group and I posted on there, I'm like, hey, you guys, why is it that the seller pays for the commission? And everybody, the first responses were, well, because buyer agents need to make money too. And it was like, oh, no, wait. Let me rephrase it. Okay. In a transaction, when there is a listing agent and there is a buyer agent, why does the seller pay the commission? Then I started to get some really good input and it was just really interesting. People are like, is it really the seller that's paying for it? Because without the buyer, paying the seller, they wouldn't have any money to pay anybody commissions. And I was like, and so it was, and I'm not trying to get on a debate here, but in the end, it's one pool of money, right? So we are just using, again, the platform plus 3%, 2.5% of that 3% go to the buyer agent. And then the 0.5% is a technology fee that's paid directly to USA Home Bids through escrow. Again, completely transparent, and that's exactly where it goes.
Got it.
So where does the 3% that the buyer is paying for go to?
That's it. The buyer, and it's built into the price. 2.5% of that goes to the buyer agent, and 0.5% goes to the technology fee.
Okay, got it.
So
really, on your end, you're only making the 0.5%.
No, the seller is also paying 3% for my commission. So now I am finally making a full 3%.
Oh,
that's been a long time coming.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
So is it like, does it have like a countdown timer too? I mean,
it does. It does.
Because I'm thinking of eBay, right? And I'm thinking, well, there's only this much time left.
Yeah. So if somebody comes in the last 5 minutes, or the last second and puts in a bid, then it'll automatically extend, I think, 10 minutes, and then it will keep doing that. Now, again, people in California, agents in California, they use it for their market. Agents here in Arizona, one of the things I've really been trying to tell everybody is the only thing we're sharing at this point is the platform. Best practices and benchmark studies and testing the market, that's totally up to the agent. They can leverage this any way they want. I've had agents, because what I do is I go on the market on Monday, and I don't usually do any showings Monday through Friday if the home is occupied. I do 2 open houses. My open houses are mega open houses, and they are completely staffed. So especially with COVID, and I've only been doing this since COVID, so I don't know any other way. I have myself as the host. I have someone else that's doing registration, so we capture everyone's information just in case someone was to get sick. We have a quick way to let everyone know that they have been exposed. We also have 3 buyer agents that are going to be escorting any groups of people that are not with their realtor. And if there is a realtor, we'll let a 4th group in the house at the same time. So at no time do we have more than 4 groups in a home. Unless we had like a really small condo, then we probably wouldn't even do that many. But we make sure it's staggered. People have been great, because some of my listings have had crazy long lines, but they're like, nope, we totally get it. We think it's a great idea. You guys are, keeping control. Then I pop in, I'm wiping down as much as I can and just answering questions about USA Home Bids or whatever it is. Honestly, it's a very productive open house. It's phenomenal buyer leads, totally different buyer leads than if you have a regular open house. Because these people, it's just completely different. That's all I got to say. I have agent testimonials over and over again. Everyone that works my open houses pays me a 25% referral fee on the buyer leads. I have a steady flow of buyer closed transactions from my listings. So from an agent perspective, the basic tool is the platform, right? And it's generating more listing opportunities for me because I can do it for less and get my client more. I am also generating more buyer leads from my open houses because I'm presenting my listings. I'm not just opening the door. Big difference. And wow, is there a difference in open houses? Last weekend, like I was saying, my concierge agent was out of town. So I was like being a buyer agent for a weekend. Like, I feel for y'all out there. And I went there. I couldn't believe how many agents are sitting behind the dining room table on their laptop, just like, hi guys, come on in. Let me know if you have any questions. That's not how you work an open house. So anyways, and that's part of the training and everything that I provide, is I'm trying to show people how to leverage this platform into many, many other opportunities.
Yeah. Have you seen, What's like a crazy number of bids that you've seen on a house?
82 is the most I've had.
82 bids. So that could be the same people just bidding higher and higher, right? But
Yep.
so
Yep.
82 times the price changed.
Yep.
Basically.
Yep. And again, California, I know that they had one that was like well over 100 something, like 200 bids, but no, 82 was my highest. And I think it was about 40 different pre-qualified bidders. There's a whole nother part of this, and that's why I do the training. You know, I mean, I could just, basically what it is, if you're an EXP agent, this is an EXP owned, no, let me rephrase that. This platform is owned by EXP agents. It is not an EXP owned product. It's not even rolled out in all the states yet. I think it's in about 15 states now. But where was I going with that?
The training and everything, I think.
The training, yeah. So for an EXP agent is $99, and for a non-EXP, it's $149.
One-time fee?
One-time certification fee. One time. There's a movie, I think, or a song about that, right? So what I'm doing, and I don't mean to plug this or anything, but I mean, what I'm doing in April, I am actually doing a class where people can come for free. They can come for free. It's 2 hours. It's on Tuesday, and I don't mean to try and beat this. The 13th. It's from 1 to 3. It's at my office, which is also a real estate school, so we have large facilities.
And that's in April, you said?
Yep, April 13th.
Well, this won't even air until May. I'm sorry.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm teasing.
Oh, well, no. If I can help anybody in May or June too, you let me know. But,
no, it'll be aired before that.
But what I wanted to do is, so you can come to it's a 2-hour training, because it's not just here, click here. Like you need to at least know how to leverage it and use it. And then after you know all of its capabilities, then you can tweak it as you see best. Like I have some people that use it. They're like, I hate doing open houses. I'm like, well, you don't have to do open houses then. Like that's the wonderful thing about this. It's not a company that has agents that are working like robots, and this is how you do it, right? It's a tool we can put in our tool belt. We got to get a new slang too.
That's okay. So how do you so let's say the house is now on the MLS. Okay, yeah. You put it on MLS. How do you let the buyer's agents know that that's how you're taking bids?
So I do, because I'm so video friendly. I do a little video, and it just kind of, it'll say in the public remarks, sorry, not in the public remarks, in the private remarks, it'll say this is being sold with an online bidding platform. And then I disclose on there that the seller has the right to accept, reject, or counter, just like any other kind of a, transaction. And then I put on there, like, well, the bid starts at this date, and this is the price, blah, blah, blah. Then I put a YouTube video on there. And that YouTube video is just, just a real, quick thing, like 2 messages. Number 1, this is buyer friendly. It is something that the buyer can use in today's market to leverage better opportunity to get into a home. It does not change the market. So when I get people that say, well, my client doesn't have a bunch of extra money, I'm like, but that doesn't have anything to do with me or USA Home Bids. That buyer is not able to compete in our market, right? So It doesn't work for everyone. And again, it doesn't change the market, but it works for people. Like I have clients, they have an extra $10, $20, $50,000. They just need to know what that darn high price is, right?
Yeah.
The second part of this is, and I try to tell buyer agents this all the time. They're like, well, I'm not sending my clients there. I think it's, shady or whatever. And I go, you know what's happening though? Those buyers are coming anyways. I can't tell you how many times they're coming to the open house, and they either tell me, my buyer told me, my agent told me not to come here, but I wanted to come. Do I have to use my agent? And I'm like, yes, please. I'll give them a call, or they even say, no, I don't have an agent. And then when they go get registered, again, this is part of the process you have to learn. and they get registered, I pick up the phone and I give them a call and say, hi, my name's Cheryl Willis. I'm the listing agent. I wanted to, first of all, we do require that you work with a buyer agent. Do you have a realtor? And they go, no. And I go, okay, well, I will give you a list of realtors that are certified on this platform. And then they go, oh, wait, yeah, I just didn't want to say I have one, but yes, I have one. So that's what's happening with the realtors that are just going, I don't like this platform. They don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And I've had, I've gotten beat up a few times on that same Facebook group. But I stand my ground that I assure any agent that doesn't advocate for this platform, like if the buyer doesn't like the house, then no, don't bid on it. But if they like the house and they have the money to compete in this market, by all means, let them use this bidding platform. Because you know what? If they're serious about, I just need to know the highest price and then I'm going to get it, they will get it. Yeah. And here's another benefit for buyer agents. You don't have to write an offer until they're the winning bid.
That was going to be a question that I had then. So let's say the winning bid comes in, right? Yep. The highest one, and the time runs out, expires, whatever.
Yep. We celebrate first. We have I do it on live. I have Facebook Lives.
How about what about the pre-qual letter? When do they provide the form that shows that they are good to go?
So I was saying I put my homes on the market Monday through Friday. Then I do the open house Saturday and Sunday. Then Monday and Tuesday is my admin day. So usually the people that have seen the home, I don't like it when people bid, but so if they haven't seen the home. So that's again when most of that traffic comes in. So Monday is when I start getting a bunch of requests to be pre-qualified on the site. Now, two things I'd like to point out. Number one, if they are not a licensed agent and they are getting registered, they are asked to provide their credit card number. Again, there's a lot of people that are like, that's just shady. I'm like, it's not. All right. First of all, we all know that if you have a credit card, if anything was to go sideways, you pick up the phone, you call your bank, it's done, fixed, right? Okay. That's not it. It's a second form of identification. So if I put in there, I'm going to put in Susie Smith and I'm going to upbid this and yeah. Well, if I don't have a credit card that says Susie Smith, then I can't get passed. I can't get authorized. Now, let's just say I'm just a not nice person and I put in my real name and I put in my credit card and they get authorized. Now I have their name and number and their email address and I pick up the phone and I give them a call. And if they don't have an agent, then I refer them over to another agent. I make sure they're pre-qualified. If they haven't been pre-qualified, my lender now is calling them and getting their social security number. No one is going to go to that much length to put a fake bid in, right? I mean, if they go that far,
yeah.
Oh, well, but they don't. It doesn't usually get that far. And if they are working with the agent, I don't bother the buyer with all that paperwork. I go, great, no problem. What's your buyer's name and number? Blah, blah, blah. I give them a call and I'm like, hey, Joan, I just want to let you know your buyer just registered for my bidding platform. Did you know that? Some people don't. And then I go, great, send me over their pre-qual. Right. So most of the bidding is done in the last couple of hours, but most of the registration happens on Monday, all during the day and the earlier part of that Tuesday, because I end mine on Tuesday at 6 p.m.
Got it. Okay. So they provide the pre-qual when they're basically right after they get registered or whatever.
Yep. Yeah. But you are correct in that the terms and conditions are still not spelled out. So this is my little spiel to every single buyer and on my video and every single agent. Look, how often do you have the opportunity to submit your offer exclusively to the seller where it's just mano a mano, one-on-one, right? We've already determined the price. Now all I got to do is back it up with the terms and conditions. Now, if I leave the appraisal contingency in, if I leave the inspection period in, if I do all the regular stuff in a regular contract, just like any other home, you're not going to get the seller acceptance. Right? If you have a home that's fair market value is 400, it's on the market at 400, and you wrote an offer at 420, and you left it just the way it is a seller really going to accept it in today's market? So I let the top bidder know, if you don't get this contract and you don't make it as sweet as it needs to be to back up that price and make the seller feel confident that they are going to get this closed with you, it's on you. It's on your shoulders, because the seller will just go redact, and then we'll go bidder number 2, which is only $1,000 behind them.
Wow.
So I have a couple things here. So number one, this is definitely a disruption in the business, in the real estate business world. You're probably going to have some agents, as you mentioned, who are not for that. But I mean, it does make sense. Why shouldn't the buyer pay for the commission to their agent?
But is he really paying for it?
Is the buyer paying the commission?
It still goes on the seller side of the settlement statement. Again, it's added into the purchase price.
Yeah. Okay. Well, bottom line, they would be. So number 2, how do you think that this would work out in a normal market versus a crazy seller's market?
My personal opinion is no. I think that it is. I think the whole auction idea works well when there is a demand for whatever it is you're talking about. You're talking about fine art. You're talking about fast cars, right? You're talking about livestock, whatever it is. Like, someone needs that product, that service, that item. When you don't have that, an auction doesn't work. Period. Right? So the same here. Will this be around in 10, 15 years when the market turns? No, but OfferPad's not going to be around. Same thing. Like, when people are upside down in their homes, I mean, unless they want to become short sale kings. I mean, if people didn't have a glutton of equity, would so many people be turning to iBuyers and giving up a portion of their money that goes in their bank account? Probably not. Right? It's not going to work when the market changes.
Yeah.
So is this temporary? Yeah.
Got it.
Well, I can
in
see
my
the focus.
opinion, I'm sure the
focus
owners wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I can see the focus just shifting though. So let's say we had another downturn, right? Who knows when, but let's say we have another downturn, and now you've got a lot of houses that have hit the market. You've seen prices come down. I could see it shifting to investor purchases.
Yeah. Well, I think it also depends. I mean, maybe it could work, to be honest with you, now that I maybe I've never had this next conversation, but this actually is a type of platform that is used in a downturning market, right? So maybe it's just, we would adjust where we started.
Yeah.
Right.
And thank you very much for pointing that out, because this is actually a platform that the average the average homeowner would be able to use. Right? If we went back, and again, I did over 300 short sales during the market crash.
I'm sorry.
Actually, I love doing. Remember what I told you I did for a living? Yeah,
that's
process. Right. Yeah. No problem. We got to orchestrate this out. I had no problem waiting 6 months to get paid. I had a whole team at that point too, because I had so many listings at one time. My point is that I like this. This is a good conversation for me too, because I think we're setting ourselves up wherever the market turns. Again, back to the fact that this is just a platform, and how do we use it today? How do we leverage it to work for us, and us meaning our clients, us as agents, buyers, etc. But when the market turns, how do we change how we use this same platform?
Yeah.
And then the seller will be paying both sides of the commission. We'd be starting lower and see how high we could get.
Well, could work.
Bam! Okay, there's my 20-year plan. I just figured it out.
There you go. So agents that are watching or listening, if they want to reach out to you directly, whether it's to be potentially part of your team or to find out more about this, how do they do that?
Oh, give me a call. I don't know if you can put it on the number here, but it's 602-748-5588. And you can always find me at goarizonarealestate.com. And I'd love to see you guys out there. I welcome the questions and the challenges because, like, I was ready to concede. And then I went, oh, ding. Right?
Yes.
So yes, questions, please let me know. And I am all about feedback. You know, if like, for instance, I had the home that I have on the market right now, it's vacant. I always stage my listings. That's one thing. Even if I do discount listings, I've never provided discount service. I wouldn't be doing my clients justice. This is just me, you know, and to be honest with you, I've had a lot of people say to you, you're just wasting your time. Everything sells. I'm like, I know, but when the market turns, I hope people remember I've never discounted my service. I have always given 110%. So
yeah.
Anyways, this property is staged so that we can do the photos and it's vacant. So I asked my client, do you mind if we allow, showings Thursday, Friday before the open house? He's like, go for it. So I am able to accommodate that. Now, if it's someone that lives in the home though, and this is what pretty much everyone else is doing too, if somebody lives in the home, minimal disruptions, right? Monday through Friday, there are no showings and just the open houses on Saturday and Sunday. Again, USA Home Biz is just the platform and you can leverage it however you want or need to.
Yeah. Yeah. I've even seen a couple listings that are drive-by only.
Yeah. Tenant occupied, I have. Wow.
And they sell and they're under contract like the next day.
Well, that's what I mean. We're all getting offers without, and so some of them are like, no offers, sight unseen. Like it's crazy. Like in of course MLS, we don't have places to put all this information. There were some recent conversation too of like, should we put on there what the current highest bid is? And then I'm the one that gets the listing agents. Just put your highest and best. I'm all, oh my gosh. And then I'm like, do you guys need a lease back or anything? Well, it could help. I'm all, oh my God, can you be any more vague? Like, I mean, even a year ago, the listing agent would tell you, like you, as the buyer agent, you'd say, what does the seller need? What does this look like? I want to make this a perfect offer. And they had no problem sharing it. And now because of the market, they don't want to share it. I don't get that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing this. It's been great information.
Thanks. Me too. I'm excited now. It's not a little tiny float. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, see, something came out of this for you.
It sure did. It sure did. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Well, before we go to the next segment, I do want to give a shout out to Greg over at Security Title for getting you on here. And also Security Title Agency and Fidelity National Home Warranty as the main sponsors of the show. So give them a shot, agents. And then we're going to get to the next segment, if you're good with that, Cheryl.
Oh, yes.
All right. Let's get in the ring. Here we go. What do you think the reason is that many agents are not successful?
You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. Agents have a really hard time right now saying, I'm sorry, I'm just not going to be able to help you. All
right. How about a book recommendation?
Who Moved My Cheese?
I was going to say, you've probably mentioned that. You've mentioned it a couple of times. Let's see. Over the past year, have you had a favorite Netflix, Amazon Prime, or Hulu series?
I don't watch TV.
Okay, then. That's a good answer, I guess.
I canceled everything, and I don't make time for that.
All right. How about this? And I know this will air after St. Patrick's Day, but do you have a favorite drink on St. Patty's Day?
Ooh. Macallan 50, just a little sip.
That's pricey too, isn't it?
Wow. It's very pricey. And then I would say on the more average, I have at least one black and tan.
So for people that don't know what that is, go ahead and tell them what 2 beers that is.
So it's 2 different German beers that are layered. You have a light beer, which I usually put Smittix on the bottom. And then you wait a minute. And the way you pour the Guinness, which is a very It looks like it's heavy, but it's not. It's a nitrogen beer, so it floats different, and so it actually the top part's black, and so the top part's black, the bottom part's white, and it's called Black and Tan.
That's cool.
Yeah, looks good on pictures too. Or green beer.
Absolutely.
There's
Well,
actually
you might-
more green domestic beer consumed than any other beer or whiskey in the entire in the nation. Yeah, we're Budweiser or Coors Light. Those are the green beers. Yep, and Michelob Ultra, and all their brands and stuff.
Yeah. I think let's see. I guess they still call them domestic, even though they're not owned locally, right?
Yes, correct.
Well, I mean, Budweiser's not. I don't know about Coors anymore.
Yeah, I don't think they're American owned, but they're still domestic beer. I get what you're going with.
Yeah. You like when you go to the bar and they're like, well, we have the listed domestic, and automatically my mind is like, well, those aren't really domestic anymore.
Right? But you still
I think the
Colorado
largest
mountains and the Blue Mountains, right?
Yeah. The largest privately held American beer company, I believe, is Samuel Adams.
I think you're right.
So,
Yep.
and it's a pretty good beer. Anyway, what's that look for?
Yeah.
I like their Oktoberfest. It's good.
Yes, I like. Believe it or not, Four Peaks has an amazing Oktoberfest
All
and a
right.
pumpkin porter.
And they're owned by Budweiser, which is InBev. Yeah.
I know. All right,
Yes.
Santan.
Anyway.
I'm all about local.
As we get off topic. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing all your information.
Yeah, thank you.
Sounds like
I
a
really
cool
appreciate it.
process. So hopefully you get a lot of people at your next training. You said it's April 13th.
Yeah, April 13th from 1 to 3. And like I said, come for free. Just hear what it's all about. And at
Do they
the
need to
end
register
of
or what?
what's that?
Do people have to register for that, or do they just
Yeah.
show up?
Yeah, there's a registration on Eventbrite. How should we get that to them?
Well, you can get it to us and we can put it in the description.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. That's what we'll do. And what I was going to say is, and then at the end of the class, or even a week or two later, whatever, if you want to get certified, you pay that one-time fee, but you don't have to pay to come and listen to see what it's about.
All right. Sweet.
Yay!
Well, thank you so much.
You guys are great.
All right. Well, I guess we'll call it a day then.
Yes, a great day and a great year.
All right. Thanks, Cheryl. All right, agents. Until next time, we will see you later.
Adios.